me just get the pop out. So happy birthday. Happy birthday to the president. 80 years old today. So happy birthday, President Trump. 80 years old today. Let's start with that. And congratulations to the New York Knicks, despite the idiots that always do this every time something like this happens. It's just unfortunate how you have some rowdy people out there and just do stupid things. And I'm glad they arrested a lot of them. I'm sure it will be politicized, like they always do. Just to make that clear. A city of millions, 63 arrested. Not making excuses, but we have to deal with the facts too. You always have these assholes that do crazy things out there. Always. It comes with the territory. When in these big cities, whenever you have, there's that element of thugs. Yes, right? For real, Israel. Israel at least has the cojones, unlike some others. Good on Israel. Good on Israel. We'll get into all that. I agree. They got to take care of themselves, unlike others that are willing to do what's needed. I agree with you, Greg. What's up, reality? But anyway, because you know how people will politicize this. New York is this. New York City is that. Yeah, you've always got the thug element. I lived in New York City almost all my life, except for the last 20 years. This has been going on forever, where you have the gangbangers out there, the thugs. This is not unusual. This is the sad part of these elements that are in New York City. But right away, people want to make it a big political thing because they connected to Mamdani, which I'm not a fan of at all. But let's be real. In a city of 8+ million, 60-something arrests. I've been doing research on this one because I know people are going to exploit it. They're going to exaggerate it. And don't get me wrong. It's bad because there's always some assholes out there that do this. With these buses, those were World Cup buses that they were using to bring people around. These are the idiots. This is unfortunate. Horrible. Horrible. I don't want to get in trouble, but let's read the details. So, at 2 a.m., a 17-year-old was shot near 42nd. 42nd is that's Times Square, pretty much. And they show how many people were running for cover in the city. This is about 8 blocks. 10 blocks? No, 8 blocks north of Madison Square Garden. This also happened. The school bus, which was being used for World Cup transportation, was lit on fire and engulfed in flames. Other buses and 5 police cars were also damaged. So this happened. All in all, 63 people were arrested with charges including assault on a police officer, criminal possession of a weapon, criminal mischief, and disorderly conduct. 63 people. I hear you, reality. We'll get into that in a second. But again, I know this from living in New York City the majority of my life. I've only been living here 20 years. Before that, I lived in New York City in the Bronx. This element always exists. Unless they do something about it. I can remember as a little kid during a blackout, they're warning everybody, stay inside, they're going to loot the stores. This is what these fucking thugs do. This is what they do. I'm not surprised. I even said it. I'm more worried about if the Knicks win, what happens after? It's predictable. It really is. It's sad. It's predictable. But it's not like it hasn't happened in the past. Now, it's weird because when it's basketball, and I'm not stereotyping, this is the kind of shit that happens. If the Yankees win, not so much. The Giants win, not so much. But when basketball, for some reason, it's the gangbangers, the Crips, the Bloods, the Kings, whatever they are, whoever these individuals are. I've seen it before. Now, I haven't seen the Knicks win in 53 years. But I have seen other championships in other cities where that element rears its ugly head, and it happens. Now, 63 arrests in a city of 8+ something million. So just think of the numbers, too, demographically, per capita. It's bad, but it's not as bad as the press will make it look like, because actually the city is humongous. There's so many people there. 63 out of millions? I hate to say it. It's a very small number. To be fair and objective when looking at it. Now, any outbreak is unacceptable. But I know where people will go with it politically, making the city look like it's chaos and mayhem and all this. You could see the headlines. Yeah, there was an element. Now, what concerned me was I was watching the post game, and it was, who was speaking? I forgot who was speaking during the press conference. I think it was Josh. The owner of the Knicks came and took the mic and said to everybody in New York, be safe, have a good time, but just don't do anything, because he knew something was going on in the city. So he just interrupted. It's probably in this article. Oh, Josh Hart's interview right there. Dolan interrupted the guard Josh Hart's news conference. Please be safe. Don't get hurt. Don't hurt anybody. When I saw that, I said, oh shit, something must be going on in the city. That was my trigger. I said, oh shit, they're going nuts. They're going nuts. And, of course, there was an element that did. But the bottom line is that doesn't take away from the Knicks championship after 53 years. And it shouldn't be the headline that the press is running with, that I've noticed on a few platforms, like Fox, AP, others, politicizing it. That's what they do. They're just as bad. All these media outlets, that's what they do. They exploit it, and they make it into a political thing. CNN is the propaganda arm of of Iran. This is the way it is. It's just the way it is. But the point is, congratulations to the New York Knicks. And I hope everybody has a safe time and enjoys the time during the parade on Thursday. And that's it. I'm not talking about this shit no more. As far as what's going on with Israel and Beirut, they struck Beirut, and they're preparing for a possible attack from Iran. Congratulations to Netanyahu for growing some balls and doing something on his own, regardless of what our president is doing, to sign a deal. Congratulations to Bibi Netanyahu, defending his country and doing what he has to do, whether our president does or not. So, good on him. Screw Iran. This just goes to show Iran will always be a problem. Well, I don't understand. I'm not even going to get into it because it makes me sick. They were supposed to do a digital signing today. This is pathetic. I want to see what the digital signing of this deal is. Not deal. Let me take that back. An agreement to negotiate for a deal in a few months, which Iran will not agree to at the end. This is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. But it's okay. I don't even want to waste my time on that this morning. So I'm in a good mood. But regardless, happy birthday, President Trump. Hope he has a great time today. People over there, the UFC, all that. But I'm not wasting my energy on Iran. I will keep an eye out now to see what happens now if Iran strikes Israel because they hit Beirut. Good morning, Moses. It is pathetic. It really is pathetic reality. I don't, and like I said yesterday, I was doing a review. I'm going to go on TikTok. I was doing a review on Disclosure Day, which I thought was excellent. But that's me. Though the acting was subpar. But I enjoyed the movie. Let me get TikTok going. So I was doing the review, and then somebody said something in chat and triggered me. You're not going to talk about it? Why should I? Because it just gets me upset. It makes me go crazy. It gets me angry. It takes the worst out of me talking about it. It brings the worst out. Because I don't like to be angry and frustrated and let my emotions take control. That's not necessarily a good thing. But I went off. I can't take it. I'm so freaking frustrated and angry at this situation. And it bothers me how people are just, I don't know, so narrow, and because they're so dug in, they make excuses. They say it's strategic. They think this is all part of a plan just to keep defending this man. Just think about that. It's like they'll do anything to defend him. If this was Biden, would you defend him? That tells you the hypocrisy, and it just drives me nuts. If this was Joe Biden doing what this president has been doing, dealing with Iran and all the mess ups, would this be acceptable? They'd be going insane. That just goes to show the true hypocrisy of the situation. Because they don't even have the honesty to be honest and say what this is. Now, there are a lot of people out there. The Dems politicize it. You know that. They're going to be like always against him no matter what. Any party does that when the other opposite party's in power. They try to demean, destroy. That's what they do. But I will say this. I give credit to some of the people in this chat that are Trump supporters and have said this is a mess. Those are the people I respect because they're being honest. And as a person that's in the middle, I admire that. I admire the people on the right that at least are being honest about the situation and honest with themselves and observing this without being blinded by party bullshit. I have the utmost respect for people when they do that. But when they come in and say, oh, this is strategic, this is part of his plan, give me a fucking break already. Stop it. Stop it. He has no plan. He's been looking for an off-ramp for months. He has no plan. He wants a way out. That's why he's dying for a deal. It's us. It definitely has the appearance that we want the deal more than they do. At least by a public opinion, the way people are looking at this, it does not look like the United States is in a position of power. It looks like the United States is in a power of weakness. And that's all that matters. He looks weak. He looks worse than Biden. And that's scary. And that pisses me off. Because you're not for nothing. And I give some Democrats credit, revolting even with the Kamala Harris thing, even though Kamala Harris is a disaster, in my opinion. But at least they had the guts to identify, the Democrats had the guts to identify that their guy had a problem. At least they knew it, that Biden had an issue. The Republicans are blinded, most of them, blinded by what this man does. Look at that. Blinded. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear the sugarcoating. I don't want to hear the gaslighting. People, it's about time people wake the hell up, not just smell the coffee, drink lots of it, snap out of it, deal with the reality of what the hell is going on, and stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself and making excuses. Or deflecting. I taught anger management for 2 years. Deflection is a self-defense mechanism. Because usually, if the topic is one thing, they deflect to change it to something else. It's a typical defense mechanism. It's textbook. Because you see that all the time. But Obama did this, Biden did this. We're not talking about Biden and Obama. We're talking about now. Right away, they deflect. That's a deflection. Because rather than talk about the issue at hand, they change the topic to something else to bring that in without dealing with the topic at hand right now. That's common. Like I said, that's a textbook defense mechanism. So it drives me absolutely batshit crazy when I see what's going on. And you know what? And that's why they should be held accountable. Anybody that toes the line in any of this nonsense, you're out. Goodbye. See ya. Now, foreign policy should never be at the top, really, of any situation for voting. It's economy, healthcare, domestic policy like immigration, other things follow suit underneath. Economy is number one. Usually is number one. Healthcare is up there too. You know, that's usually up there too. And then the other things, like I said, domestic policies, that's also involved. But my God, there has to be. And I'm not going to obsess on this because it drives me nuts. It raises my blood pressure. I didn't even take my medication. I got to go take my medication. Because I do actually take blood pressure medications and stuff for my heart. I could have a heart attack literally over this. It's not even a joke. I shouldn't even be doing this. I light it, put it out, light it, put it out. I must smoke this thing 5 times. But when I'm like this, when my nerves get all riled up, that's when this becomes a problem because I end up smoking because I'm freaking out. It's no excuse. It's like a nervous reaction to do it. I'm not going to lie. But the nonsense has to stop. And I don't think it will. Like I said, I would predict this now. The Iranians are eventually going to sign this memorandum with the United States. They're going to play the United States out for as much as they can get out of it while they can. Meaning, they'll cooperate to a certain degree, and get as much as they can out of it. But do you all think at the end of the day, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, whatever it is, that they're going to actually sign an agreement, a final deal with the president and his administration at the end of the day? No, they won't. They're going to play their time. They're going to bide their time. And they're going to say, you know what? We don't like this deal. We're not signing it. After all the negotiations take place, then where are we? They still threaten the Strait. They have now, again, gained access to money, more time to regroup. Everything's happy. Everything's flowing. China's flowing. Russia's flowing. Everything's flowing. Rebuilding their infrastructure with their missiles and drones, just like they did after the 12-day and Midnight Hammer. And we're going to be right back to the shit show again because this person wants a deal so bad that he can't see out of the ground. He's got his head in the sand because he wants a deal so bad because of the market manipulation and getting control here in the United States because and really that's all he cares about, and he should, our interests here, because everybody's freaking out over the prices of gas and everything else. And if they want a chance to win in the midterms, they better get their act together now. And they know the clock is ticking. So they're trying to find an off-ramp as soon as possible so things can return to somewhat normalcy, and then watch the shiny object change to Cuba or more of this Aragua shit. It's a distraction, so people could get away from looking at that. Oh, but look what happened here. There's going to be a major distraction to take away from the Iran thing, so people can focus on that and change the way the perception is. Because the perception is not good right now. This is very predictable. I'm not like looking into a crystal ball. I bet you money that's what's going to happen. So I'm just saying we have to keep an eye on this, be cautious, because there's going to be a lot of spin, a lot of claims, a lot of disinformation. We need to see the facts, not just the talk. We need to see it. Let's be transparent. Let's show us. Show us. Show us what it is. Stop telling us what it is. Show us what it is. 'Cause I don't trust any politician. I don't care who it is. None of them. They all have some kind of self-interest. Lobbying money, whether it's oil in the Republicans' pocket, green energy in the Democrats' pocket. There's always money in the pockets flowing from some interest. Always. And it reflects. That's just politics. And they need to take that out of politics, by the way. They really do. They need to take that out. The billionaires supporting certain people, like they say Bezos or all these other people. Well, the Republicans have their side too that do the same shit of billionaires. It's not just one side. They're worse, actually. They're worse. Go look up the research. You hear the same names. You know, you always hear the names politically, how they use those names, like the ones you always hear about. Well, they do it too. They both do it. They all do it. It's not one-sided. They all do it. Millions and millions and millions of dollars to campaigns. Go look up who they are. Billionaires. Even the owner of Home Depot. I mean, give me the Koch brothers. I always say Koch because I think of Ed Koch. There's so many. On the Republican side, it's sick. They always talk about the Democrat side. They've got a whole bunch of, if not more, on the Republican side. Big billionaire donors. So it's both sides, and that's why I'm sick of it. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed with the two-party bullshit. I am. That's why I'm in the middle. And it's hard as a voter, as an independent, because you're really not happy with either side. Really. It's unbelievable. That's why people say, maybe we need another party in the country. Yeah, I tan fast, Kenny. One passed away. I didn't know that. Kenny. Are any of the world leaders any different? They don't give a crap about the real pillagers. They're not. That's why you hear about the elitists. The global, that's exactly it, John. That's why you hear about the global elites. They only care about themselves and their own self-interests and control and manipulation. You're right on. I'm not just saying this in the United States. This is global. This is not just an American thing. And in other countries, it's, there's a lot more corruption. That's the money. But what is it all tied to? What does corruption mean? What is corruption? What is it tied to? Money. It usually is. Somehow, some way, it's tied to money, right? Corruption leads to money. So it's the people that suffer, the regular people who suffer. They don't suffer. They got their money. They're living okay. No complaints. It's a capitalist society. Like people complaining Elon's a trillionaire. Why would you go into business not to make money? He built that. He earned that. He developed that. He has every right to become a trillionaire. God bless him. That's what he built. So what? You're supposed to, people, like supposed to be angry or, or jealous or whatever it is. But then they take it to the personal level because they have a dislike of him. That's different. You're taking it on a personal level. I respect his business model. You know what I mean? I do have, my eyes are hazel. They'll be blue, green, gray. They change. Wow, he died in 2019. I didn't even know that. Yeah, that's a good question, Kenny. I didn't even know that. Whatever color they are, your tan brings them out nice. Alexa, turn on living room light. I am getting very dark. And I'm not going to get into this whole conversation because I want to enjoy myself today. Alexa, turn on living room light.
Okay.
No, that's too bright. I'm getting too dark. Alexa, dim living room light. Alexa, dim living room light.
Got it.
Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see my eyes, but I don't know what color they are. It's true. They could be totally blue. I was born with blue eyes. They could be blue, like gray, green. It's hazel. They're never brown. I don't know what they look like now because I can't look into the screen what color they are right now, but they change. Alexa, shut off that living room light.
Okay.
You're blinded? I'm blinded. That is so bright. It's going to be 93 degrees here today. But regardless, happy birthday, President Trump. 80 years old today. So I hope he has a great day with him, Melania, the family, friends, UFC. What time is does anybody know what time the UFC thing is? Anybody know? I know there's a delay because I didn't look into it. I never went live on TikTok. Tusi's on? What is Tusi talking about? Maybe I should go in the pool. Maybe I should watch Tusi. What's Tusi talking about? Is he talking about Beirut? The deal is off. It's got to be something to do with this. No deal. Israel attacks Beirut. Well, I got to look now. What's he talking about? Iran deal failing. Oh, he's been live for 11 minutes. Hezbollah break ceasefire. IDF strike Beirut. Yep. IRGC to attack Israel. Pretty much, yeah. That's the word that's going on right now. Yeah. Yeah, I see it now. Peace talks. My son. Message. Peace talks. Strikes. Peace talks. This shit is a cartoon. Just got to keep steady and find joy each day. And that's coming from our military people. Can you imagine what our military... Look at that. Navy mom's son is on the carrier. And do you see what she wrote? A military person right now on the ship, on the carrier, is saying, peace talks, strikes, peace talks, shit is a cartoon. Just got to keep steady and find joy in each day. What? If that's the vibe that the military has right now, that is shameful. That our president has our own military people not knowing what the hell is going on either. They don't even know what's going on. That does not tell me they have a lot of confidence in the commander-in-chief's abilities for direction. That's not good. But that's just one individual. Doesn't mean they all think that way. Or some, I'm just saying. But that's just not good. Do people realize that? That is not good. That our own military is like, what the hell is going on? Why are we even here? doubting, once that happens, that's not a good precedent to have on that ship or anywhere else. This is a cartoon. To me, I say this is like a reality TV show gone bad. And there'll still be people out there to try to make excuses and find a way to say this is all a plan. Give him time. Time. He's had all the time. Ceasefire time. What a waste of time. It benefited Iran for sure. The time benefited Iran for sure in regrouping and surviving. Do you remember how crazy it was when things were going on? There was chaos. Do you remember Tusi showing and others that they were abandoning the posts, the checkpoints in Iran? They were fleeing. They were fleeing. They even came to the point where they were using children to be security forces in the streets of Iran. They were in chaos. And then what happens? The president decides it's time for a ceasefire. What a crazy, stupid strategic move that was. Oh my God. How did that ceasefire benefit? Because economic fury was so effective that Iran was supposed to give up. Remember, in 5 days, they're going to explode. Their oil's going to explode. They'll be giving up. That was 7 weeks ago. Whoever is thinking things are going to happen a certain way that they think it's going to happen, fail, wrong, fail. Think about it. Think about it. Look at that post. Do you know how that post drove me nuts when it came out? I almost had a heart attack. I got to go to this. When he put that post out, I absolutely lost my mind. That tells me how incompetent this is. I really, if you were here when I was live, I was like, what the fuck is that? What is he talking about? Who told him this? Who's we? Who's the one that, what the hell is going on? That freaked me out. It was April 13th or whatever. Hold on. Let's not forget this. So people have short-term memories on purpose because they don't want to remember the things that happen. Obviously. Now, I don't know if it wasn't. I gotta go. It's gonna be difficult because he posts so much. He did say ships. He didn't say boats. He said ships. I don't know how difficult this is going to be to find from his own words. It was April. It was the beginning. It was the beginning of April. I'm gonna have to go to True Social. This really bothered me. This really, really bothered me because it showed how incompetent they were in their strategic planning on this. Incompetent. I mean, really bad. This is a bad thing. All right, now can I search? Search, I don't think so. I'm just gonna have to scroll down and keep scrolling. Do you remember that? Navy Mom, you've been here since the beginning. You've been here since the beginning. You know where this all stands from the very beginning. How Marianne was here. A few people were here from the beginning. You know how we were all invested, especially you with your son deployed. We were here before the massacre took place. We were talking. Remember when we were all like, when is he going to do something? When is he going to do something? When is he going to do something? He's waiting for all the pieces to come into play by the carriers being there. Remember all that talk? When is he going to do it? When is he going to do it? Then February 28th it starts. But what we were saying before that, I hope he does this. I hope they do this. The main thing that we were talking about, he didn't do. Who decided that? Hexeth? Somebody. I do not blame the military at all. Zero. Absolutely none. It's not their fault. They take orders. It's the orders that are given that they follow. And the orders that they were given were absolutely not prepared. It looks like they were not prepared with proper planning for contingencies. It looks like they almost rushed into this from Venezuela, and it turned into a shit show with the Strait of Hormuz. That's the way it looks. There's no other way to observe it, to be realistic. And people still make excuses. It's so sad. It's unbelievable that people will continue to like pretty much lie to themselves and observe the truth right in front of their face. All in the support of. I don't understand that. I find that so puzzling. I don't understand. When somebody's so dug in, they can't dig out. They're so deep, they can't climb out. Or they don't want to climb out. Or it's this or nothing. Maybe it's that. It's I'm all in or nothing. There's got to be some kind of a mentality behind it. And that tells me very narrow-minded in thinking. You're not being objective. And you know what? I don't know if I could trust anybody's opinion when they're like that. Because they can't think outside the box. Or they can't be open to other suggestions, opinions, advice, ideas, because they're so closed-minded. They're closed. They're not open. They're not listening. All they do is talk. Nothing constructive gets done, not even in diplomacy, when it's just one side doing the talking and not listening to the other side. No? I mean, I could put a whole bunch of analogies in comparison to this. It's not good. It's just not good. But, you know, everybody has their way of doing things, and that's what it's all about. Not that I agree with it, but I respect it. Because that's the one thing, you know. There are people out there trying to manipulate and control and trying to convince others. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just stating what I think, in my opinion, objectively is right there in front of us and having a discussion about it. I can't even say it's factual because a lot of the shit that we see is misinformation and rhetoric. Propaganda. So I'm not even sure. I'm being honest. But at least I could be honest with myself, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and that's good. I'm okay with that. But at least I'm not lying to myself. I'd rather be wrong and be honest with myself than lie to myself and convince myself of the lie. That's worse. That's stupid. That doesn't make sense to me. For what? To make myself feel good about something? That's fake too. That's phony. Doesn't make sense. So I don't get when I think about it, I don't get the psychological, mental, but, you know, that's the way it is. But you guys understand what I'm saying? Yes, reality. Logic does, usually, over emotion. I always say, that's why when I started this stream, I said, I don't want to get overly emotional and let that get the better of me. I said that. The anger, the frustration, all that. I don't want that to get the best of me. Because I was angry yesterday. And I don't want to be angry. I don't want to look like the Hulk. I think it's just a good thing to have a conversation, to have a objective conversation with respect to other people's opinions and have a conversation about it, because that's a lot of things. Look at some of these other chats right now. Did you ever really read the chats in Goldies or 2Cs and just see what's going on in the chat? It's so ridiculous, childish. It's not even based on the conversation. Some of them do. Some of them try to put in valid talking points based on what they're saying on their shows, but the majority of it is childish. It's what the I can't deal with this. I don't even want to chime in because it's such nonsensical. If it was a valid conversation like we have here, where we're actually talking to each other, over there, it's like if you they call you a troll if you have an opposite opinion. They say you're trolling the channel mods. There's trolls in here because there's Trump supporters and they're calling people that are not agreeing with what's going on trolls. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, what the that's not. But I'm glad that Tusi allows everybody to speak their mind. You know? But it's also you could see people expose themselves when they behave that way. They expose themselves for what they really like. And personally, I don't want to be around people like that. I don't want to be around people that are sadistic and enjoy hurting other people, thinking shit is funny. I'm getting too old for this. I don't even know if it was funny. Maybe if I was, if you know what too, it's almost like that crowd mentality, and I am guilty of it. I am fucking guilty of it as a teenager, and I had Mike on with me last night. When you're all in the clique, in a crowd, and you think something's funny, you all laugh. You know what I'm saying? And it could be cruel. And I am guilty of it as a kid, a teenager in New York City. There's no doubt about it. Like if somebody did something stupid in school, you know how that is. All the people in the clique, they all laugh. That's cruel. You shouldn't do that. It's really not funny. You should help the person, not laugh. Like they drop their books and you go with it. You go along with it. Just to be, because the rest of them are doing it, you do it too. Doesn't make it right, but you do it too. The person who has the right character, and I'm being honest, and that, back then all I thought about was partying, hanging out with my friends. If I was thinking the way I do today, I would have said, listen guys, chill the fuck out. Let's help him or her. It would never happen to a woman. We weren't like that. It was like, go help. Don't laugh. Go help. But today, that's that group mentality. They all get together. They egg each other on, and they all go with that flow. And you see it all the time. And it's kind of sad. And you know that. You see it all the time. Let me see what you guys are writing. What do you think of? I'm alone mostly time, but people are hard work, build pieces, everything. I agree with you. I don't talk in those chats. It's too fast and gaslighting. I don't like that either. Some are just crazy, but unfortunately, most people that watch your channel, high chance for bots to show up and disrupt chat. That's true too. That is definite. That's their whole part of it, is to disrupt. Totally agree. Who wrote that? Diesel, definitely. It's gotten crazy since AI. Just think, no. For people who are older in here, when I was a kid, I was outside playing in the front of my house, playing baseball, everything, sports, hide and seek, all that stuff. We didn't have phones. We had Atari. We had Nintendo, Super Nintendo. What were some of the other ones? Oh my God. ColecoVision, Sega, Genesis. I can go on and on. That's when that started to happen. When the internet was created, everything changed. And I'm not saying for the good either. Think how much society has changed since the development of the internet. and how what social media has done to society as a whole, and being weaponized, and people use it. This thing, and I'm just not just talking how people go and attack, hack, troll, threaten directly. Did you have that access before social media to do that to other people? People you don't even know personally, but you do it anyway? Think how things have changed for the worse in that way. Think about it. You could be talking to somebody across the world that you don't even know, but you'll attack them. You don't even know them because you disagree with their opinions, or you wouldn't have never known about that person and their opinions back in the past, right? You wouldn't even know what their name was. You do now. And it could get worse than that. Doxing, threatening, pizza deliveries. That really, really changed everything to me. And not for the better. It has its, it has its good purposes, but I think a lot of people use it for the malicious aspect, for the wrong reasons. To cause pain and anger, negative energy. Not for the good. Think about it. Think about it. As a general overlook of what the internet has done to society. Think about it. You think it's pros or cons? Has it benefited or not? Think about it. Before you answer that question, think really carefully about that. And it's not good. Look how much clickbaiting is out there. I could throw something out there and create a story. People will run with it, and before you know it, I could completely make it up. Before you know it, it's everywhere, and people are believing everything about it. Especially with AI. Yes, kids don't even play outside. That's why obesity is such a problem in the United States. Do you understand what I'm saying, though, guys? It's kind of sad when you look at it that way. It's a breakdown. It's a breakdown in society. It's a breakdown in how we communicate with each other. It's like when you go out, and I don't have my phone near me, everybody's on their fucking phones no matter where they are. They look like they're totally manipulated by their phones. Everywhere you go, people are on their phones. If they're sitting somewhere, they're on their phones. Totally manipulated by these devices. Totally. They can't get away from their phones. It's like they're married to their phones. I wouldn't be surprised there are relationships that have broken, separated, failed because of that. Look how many families have suffered. That's just one thing, because of different opinions politically. I never, ever post on my Facebook, ever, political stuff. But I can consider this political. I'm live on my Facebook. I don't do posts. I do not post. I go live all the time on Facebook and on these platforms, but I do not post. I'm not going to be part of that. No. Because, again, I'm in the middle. I'm in a lose-lose situation. And I know that. I know I'm in a lose-lose situation. Because you're gonna piss off people on both sides. I don't care, though. I'm just going to speak my mind the way, my opinion. People like it, they don't like us. They don't have to watch. But I'm not going to lie to myself. Then I would just say, don't do it. What's the sense? If I lie to myself, it's over. I can't live with myself like that. And, taking responsibility, I was definitely no fucking angel. I've done some things in the past that I'm fucking regretful of. And I'm sure many of us are. But you don't let the past define you. It's how you develop yourself and your character moving forward from that. You pick yourself up. You move on. Make a better person of yourself every fucking day. You know, we all make mistakes. And you can't let that define you. Because if you do, you're done. You might as well give up. I pray to God. I always, everyone is accountable and responsible for their actions, good or bad. Like when I yell at mom, I actually, people tell me, Bill, be easy on mom. Now, you don't understand how it is in this house, how it goes back and forth. It may look rough, but it also puts me, and I listen to what people put in that chat. And it brings, like Bob will say, Bill, be easy on Ma. I do watch it, and then I pull back and I say, you know what? They're right. Because you got to cherish your mom while mom is still here. It makes me think that way. It triggers me. But at least I can do that. And it makes me aware. It puts me in check. And I'm okay with that. A lot of people would not at all. So, everybody's got their flaws. And you try to work on them every day. Like, I was taught something by a college professor. He taught way upstate. I forgot where. But I knew him. And he sat down with me one day. And we had a philosophical discussion. Just him and I. I can't remember his name. This was years ago. And he said, Bill, I want you to do something. And you know what? It actually worked. I want you to take a piece of paper and make 4 columns. And then I want you to grade yourself honestly, from 1 to 10 on 4 areas: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. 1 to 10. Grade yourself. Now, at that time, I graded myself on physical a 2 or 3 because I was going through so many health issues. Now I would give myself a 6. I still need to lose a little bit more weight, and I need to stop smoking cigarettes. So I'm still far away from, and I don't think I would ever grade myself a 10 because perfection is definitely not. You could always strive to be better. So I would never give myself a 10. Spiritually, at that time, shaky, 4. Now, 7. Being honest, it will never be 10. Nothing will ever get to 10. I will always strive for 10, but it will never happen. You understand that mentality? Now, as far as mentally, I'm always strong. I have a strong willpower and self-confidence and self-esteem. Nobody's going to damage that, no matter what they try to do. I give myself an 8. Emotionally, 5, because I'm always flux. Always in flux. I'm always one day this, and so I could be a little high and then get deflated. It's a roller coaster, the emotional. Then when you do that, air defenses are up in Israel. When you do that, then you know which areas you need to work on. Then do it again a month or 3 months from the point that you decided you're going to work on those areas and focus on those areas. Then do it again. Test yourself after 3 months. See where you're at. Keep the sheet. Put the date. Then 3 months later, how do you feel about yourself? Are you working on the areas of your weakness? And you know what? It triggered me. It actually helped me. I don't write it down anymore, but I think about what he told me so many years ago. And it was so true. Things like that. But you got to be so honest with yourself. You can't lie to yourself. Because then it's not going to work. And nobody needs to know your business. You do it privately. And you work on yourself. And that's what I did. I lost 70 pounds in 2 years. The doctor only said lose 10 more. He doesn't want me to lose more than 10 now. So I'm down to 170. I want to go down to 155. Doctor said stop at 160. I want to go down more. I want to go to 155. When I was in my prime sports body weight, I was 143. But muscle. I'll never get there. But I'm at 170. I was 237 pounds. That's bad. So I've come a long way with the weight. But I need to stop smoking cigarettes. The alcohol is not a problem because I do that occasionally. It's not all the time. It's not every day. I'm not concerned about that. I was never a hard liquor drinker. Never. So I'm not concerned about that. The smoking I am. That's got to stop. And it's fucking not easy. So, you have to know yourself. Deal off. Deal has been broken off. I think Iran said they weren't going to do it. Character is everything. Honesty is everything. And that's another thing. Body language. People can tell when somebody's lying. Or if, I'm not criticizing anyone. But when they're they're using their voice. And this happened today. And you wouldn't believe this. This was unbelievable. Iran is now thinking about attacking Israel after they struck Beirut. They use their voice to accentuate. It's more like show. Because that comes in the media forum. That's how it's done. Some people do that. Some people are flat. They just talk like normal like this during a show, and it's like, oh my God, that's the most boring thing I could ever see. Because they're just talking in a monotone and they just keep talking like this. But that's part of the attraction too, how they use their voice. It's a seller. Do you see what I'm saying? You got to sometimes break it down and a little deeper than... You can tell when somebody's faking it and doing it to sell it than somebody who's being genuine and doing it from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I curse here. I'm not pretending not to feel an emotion. It's not fake. Do you know what I mean? What happened to his comment? What was Martin's comment? What did he say? One Karg. Oh shit! You're ready to get Karg Island? Flight is full of military birds today for being... It's not going to happen today. The signature thing is not happening today. Drum streaming? It wouldn't be on YouTube because I'm not playing my songs. I want to play real songs if I'm playing drums. I have no... The Knicks are done. They won. Yankees play this afternoon. Oh, I have a special show tonight. I'm producing. No, don't worry, guys. Beam, don't worry. No. Do what everybody do what they gotta do. But first, let me just find this first, because then I'm gonna get distracted. Also, there's a possibility of severe weather today, and I'm going in the pool. It's gonna be 93 today. But I don't mean to come across as being crass or egotistical, like I know everything, because I know nothing. I don't know what the hell's really going on. We just assume, we make assumptions, we speculate best to our ability based on what we see and hear and read. What's up, Will? Will knows. I'll give you an example. And I probably have the feed. No, it was on Rumble only. It was only on Rumble. I was at the Apple Orchard last weekend. Angry Orchard. There was a woman who was dancing to the music. It was empty. It was myself and my friends Woody and Petita, us three, and it just had opened. A DJ's playing the music, old school music, like from the 80s. And I'm feeling it because I love that music. And this woman was dancing. She's all into it. I'm like, yeah, that's the way. This is when music was music. That's it. She comes up to me, sits right next to me. I don't know this person. And we just hit it off like you can't believe. She used to go to the same clubs in New York City in the 80s. We went through that whole thing. We're having a great time. I don't know her. She doesn't know me. We just started a conversation out of nowhere. That's socializing. Yesterday, yeah, see, Will says she was awesome. Yesterday at the movie theater, I made a little announcement at the end of the movie. You see what you just seen on that screen? What? Remember that movie very carefully, because what you're seeing there are actual incidents allegedly that occurred. This is soft disclosure, what you're looking at right now, to prepare the public that is not aware of this topic in depth about the possibility of more information coming out to the public in the future, hopefully, which I don't think is going to happen, by the way. But there's a lot in this movie that has snippets of truth, and you know why? Because there's always been the rumor, speculation that Steven Spielberg did have some inside information and connections about the UFO field, going back to Close Encounters. So I made a little statement after the movie. So some people walk out, some didn't. They came up to me. And I have their phone numbers. I can call one right now. She was incredible. And I'm actually going to call her right now. Her name is Gabby. She's a psychotherapist. That's her profession right now. She says she was abducted when she was 6 years old. And she told me the story. I was like, oh my God. Another gentleman, his name is Jorge, retired police officer. He comes up to me and actually takes me from that group, pulls me off to the side. I have to tell you something. When I was a police officer in the 80s, I think he said 83 or 84. I said, was this in Taconic? He goes, no. I need to talk to you. He wants to go public. There was another gentleman with his wife, and they were all into this topic. They all knew their stuff. Because he goes, you're right. I saw what you were saying too. He is the a managing broker at JP Morgan. I was like, holy shit, look at these people from all walks of life in positions like professionals. Police officer, a psychotherapist, and a guy who's a freaking managing broker at JP Morgan. I was like, oh my God. She wants to go on a show as a guest. I was like, oh my God. So tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, UNX Network, unxnetwork.com, they're going to do a show. Bob Spearing, Mufan, Margie, she's going to be there. Race is going to be there. I think Mark D'Antonio might be there too. There's going to be a panel talking about Disclosure Day and the implications on disclosure. They're going to have that. That's going to be the topic tonight. So I'll be working as producer for that. So if you go to unxnetwork.com, the Unexplained Network, that's what they're going to talk about. It's a special show tonight on that topic. So that should be interesting. Hold on, I'm trying to find this one thing. It was way back. I have to scroll like a crazy person. But this bothered me in my core when I saw it. And Navy Mom if Navy Mom is here, or Marianne, they know how I reacted live when we saw the comment. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. And remember, February 28th is the date that the operation started, Epic Fury. Now let's go back in time. Maybe people forget. about certain posts that were made back then. And then you read it and you're like, what? What? I was shocked. I was shocked. I was pissed. And people say, oh, he's just being strategic. No, he's not. No, he's not. Because he made a big mistake. They made a big mistake. We made a big mistake. Big mistake early on. Not just with that, with the weapons, too. And saying, remember, we were surprised they struck the Arab countries. Give me a break. But this is the post that disturbed me the most. And then I knew shit was not going to end up well. I knew it when I read it that the straight was going to be the issue. I knew it. When I read that post, I said, forget it. It's over. They blew it. I'm getting to it. I'm trying to find his post on True Social. And I said to myself, when I read that, game over. I knew it then. Game over. Because of the mistake they made. In April, because it was in April. I'm getting close. Just think about this. April 17th. Look at this bullshit. You ready? April 17th. The Strait of Hormuz is completely open and ready for business in full pastures, but the naval blockade will remain in full force and effect pertains to Iran only until such time as our transaction with Iran is 100% complete. Look how long this has been going on now. This process should go very quickly and that most of the points are already negotiated. Thank you. Look at this shit. This is Groundhog Day. This was April 17th. This is almost 2 months ago. He's been saying the same thing over and over again. Does that sound like a plan? Does that sound strategic? Does that sound like 4D chess? To what, draw them into the table? And where are we now? That's not even what I want to show. But I'm scrolling and I'm seeing some of this nonsense that's been going on for the last few months. And people, I don't get it, but I mean, winning, all this. It's so sickening. It makes my stomach turn. Putting his face. I mean, just look how I say he's a narcissist. He wants his name everywhere. He wants his. How could you do that? Just something like that. It's so narcissistic. It's megalomaniac type shit. I mean, you see some of the things he does. Like he's some prophet or something. Some people that follow him think he is a prophet. Believe it or not. I'm trying to find this post because this is the post that shocked me and I knew this was not going to end well. And when I read this, when it came out, I said, oh, it's over. They blew it. They blew it from day one. They blew it. Hold on. Oh, God, I hope it doesn't bring me back. Oh, no. Fuck. I may have to. I should have downloaded it. I made a big mistake. It just screwed me up. I should have downloaded it because if I find it, I'm gonna download it so people remember. Because look, that's the post you're talking about that he posted. This morning attack on Beirut should have not happened, particularly on a special day when we are so close to a peace deal with Iran. Israel has the right to defend itself against all threats, but the attack it was responding to was very small and meaningless. If it was the United States, oh no, I forgot. He calls it defensive in nature, and the ceasefire still exists when they attack our bases and everything else just to keep the deal going. And look, as long as nobody's injured or hurt or killed, it's okay. No harm, no foul. This is the craziness that he says, and should not disrupt this important process. We are very close to a deal that would bring peace to the region. Really? It's not going to bring peace to the region. How's it going to bring peace to the region? It's not going to solve the issues between Iran and Israel. Is he delusional? Is he fucking delusional by saying it's going to bring peace to the region? No way. There should be no more attacks. Look at this. And look at this. We are very close to a deal that will bring peace to the region, including Lebanon. So you're trusting Hezbollah not to do anything to Israel in the future? Is he delusional? And all you're trusting Hezbollah? You're trusting the proxies? You're trusting Iran? Just to get a deal and get out of this? And all sides will bring peace to the region, and all sides should stand down. There should be no more attacks by Israel anywhere in Lebanon. But there should also be no more attacks by any other party, including Hezbollah, against Israel. This could be the beginning of a long and beautiful peace. Let's not blow it. He's delusional. He's delusional. He is absolutely batshit delusional. And that should scare everyone. That's delusional. It does not bring peace to the region. That region is worse than it was before we started this. How is this better? The regime is going to be emboldened. They learned the big lesson. They stood up to the great Satan. They're going to be emboldened. They're playing us already. And now he's throwing Israel into the game that you can't even respond to Lebanon. Anywhere, let alone southern Lebanon. Remember, there was a ceasefire a couple of years ago. After October 7th, they came over with a ceasefire between the other ceasefire. South of the Litani River that Hezbollah needed to get out of that buffer zone. They didn't. That's why shit started again. Because remember Hezbollah started firing rockets at Israel during this mess? They're the ones who were the ones that started the ceasefire. They're the ones who broke the ceasefire. Remember they started firing rockets and drones into Israel? That sparked the whole thing between them now that's been going on. There was a ceasefire. After October 7th, it took time, but there was. Then they broke it when this whole outbreak happened between Iran and Israel. Then that went to hell. Now he's telling them they can't respond to anything. Forever? And ever? You're going to ask Israel that they can't defend themselves? Really? For your peace deal? Peace deal? Or the deal to open the Strait of Hormuz that you screwed up? So that's what this is about. This has nothing to do with anything else. It has to do with opening up the strait. And it also has to do with market manipulation. Let's be real about it. Peace deal. A true peace deal with having everyone sign off on the Abraham Accords, which they're not going to do. If you believe that's going to happen, that's a pipe dream. They won't even admit that Israel is a legitimate state. And you're going to try to get them to sign the Abraham Accords? Oh, yeah. Maybe in the future, hopefully, Iran will be part of it, too. And then Iran said, we will never, ever, ever have relationships, let alone identify and legitimize the Zionist regime. It's like he's not set in reality. He's not dealing with the true situation of what the mess has been going on for so long in the Middle East. It's like he's delusional. It's got to be somebody next to him that's telling him this stuff. Witkoff, Kushner, J.D. Vance. I don't know who it is, but they keep, I don't know if it's Stephen Miller. I don't know. I honestly, God only knows who the hell it is. You know how they used to say that Biden isn't running the show? He's got people around him. What do you think is going on right now? Who do you think is the influencers around the president feeding him all this stuff? He's got the same thing going on. It's no different. They all have their trusted, close advisors near them that feed them and persuade them and influence them on decision making. Because they put faith in these people. Whoever it is, Biden, Obama, whoever, but they have their people that they go to talk to. Doesn't matter. It's scary. I don't know. I honestly, I'm very, 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 very concerned. And I'm gonna tell you, it's starting to get buried a little. I want to see if money is traveling, and I hope it comes out. Is Bahrain sending money? Is UAE sending money to Tehran? Is Kuwait sending any money? Is Yemen sending any money to Iran? So that we don't have to hear about assets being unfrozen. They'll do it, so it doesn't look like the United States is doing it, but they're doing it for the deal. So you're paying off a bribery to Iran to buy them into making a deal? Is the United States aware of this? Are they involved in this? So maybe not our hands releasing it here, frozen assets, but it's all over the world. They can give access to a bank, say in the UAE. We're going to unfreeze these assets. Now you can get access to them. Send it to Iran. On the side, on the low. Nobody has to know about it. Give it to them. Tell them this is part of it. Oh, so now it's not the plane loads. It's just planes coming from other places. It's the same shit. It is so pathetic. People need to dig on that too. Dig. It's bad. See, it's not going to work like that. I really want to find this because I want to download it. And I'm going in the pool soon. I have to find this because I want to save it. If anybody could find that post from April 13th, I think it was. I know, Josh. Go New York, go New York, go. Despite the stupid assholes in the city doing what they did. 63 arrests. Burning a bus. These people are sick. But congratulations to the New York Knicks after 53 years. That was awesome. Thank God I stopped streaming and I went to watch the game. That was awesome. Good for them. He doesn't look weak. He looks backed into a corner. Nor does the U.S. military wise. We did wonderful planning. Not so much. Are you crazy? We did wonderful planning. The military planned well. It's the orders that were given. No, he fucked it up. He's the one that's the commander-in-chief and led this whole campaign. The Strait of Hormuz is closed because of him. He gets the blame. He's the commander-in-chief. We wouldn't do it for Biden, Obama, or anybody else. Why are we going to give him a pass? It ultimately comes down to the President of the United States being accountable. I'm not giving him a pass. You crazy? I wouldn't give Biden a pass. I wouldn't give anybody else a pass. I'm going to give him a pass? No way. We should never be right now talking about a deal. There should be no deal talk. It should be demands. U.S. should hold the cards and say, either you do this, this, or this, or we're going to finish the job, or whatever. The Strait became the whole problem. That's why the deal is part of the Strait. If the Strait was secured and we had control of it, Iran would be in no position of anything. It would be over. Over. The military absolutely was prepared with options. There's even a story out there that they were ready to go and take the uranium, but the president said no. He put a hold on it. Did you see that? They have the options. The military has the options. They provide the options to the chain of command and say, okay, what do you want us to do? It's definitely not on the military. The military we have the greatest military in the world. By far. That's not the point. It's the planning. Rushing from Venezuela to Iran. And the shit show that the Strait of Hormuz became. That's the problem. But if somebody could find it, because I'm never going to find it. Because I'm not going to scroll through his account again, because I spent like 10 minutes just trying to scroll and I messed up. It was early April. It was a post where he says, we didn't think the fast-moving ships were a threat, so we didn't go after them, meaning the Mosquito fleet. That was in April, early April. They never targeted them. They never went after them. It started February 28th, and they didn't go after them. He said we didn't consider them a threat. Does anybody remember that? What a blunder that was. They were the ones laying the mines. Oh, we sank 159 of their navy. The navy's at the bottom of the ocean. But what about the little ones? The ones that are actually threatening the shipping and still laying mines? What about those? Oh, we didn't consider them a threat. A threat to who? To our navy? No shit. They have a limited range. But they have a threat to shipping, don't they? That's the problem right now, isn't it? But you didn't consider it a threat in early April? That's he said we. That's a major strategic blunder. Bad. That's why we're here now. One of the reasons we're here right now. And I knew it back then when I read it. I was like, oh my God, we're screwed. We're screwed. From day one, we're screwed. They didn't go after them. That's what I'm talking about. No excuses. No excuses. None. Big strategic mistake. Bottom line. And it will be looked back in history. Why didn't he do it? Could that have helped prevent? I don't know. But it sure would have helped. Can't predict if that would have been the game changer, but it sure would have helped. And he didn't do it. Marianne in chat was here from the beginning. She knows what I kept saying before this operation even started. First priority in the United States, secure the strait. Secure the strait. Secure the strait. How many times did I say it, Marianne? I'm trying to find it. I'm going to look for it. It's on his Truth Social from like April 13th or April 8th. I have to do it all over. I have to scroll down now forever. Because I hit another article to show you guys, and that messed me up. I'm going to scroll. Marianne knows how many times I said it before it even started. Make sure you take the U.S. priority. Should be to take that straight. Take that fucking straight from day one. Before it even started. Take the strait. Protect the strait. Defend the strait. Because you know Iran's going to try to take control and use it as bait, hostage, card, whatever. Even people like us were saying it before it even started. How come they didn't do it? Why? Oh, we were surprised they were going to hit the Arab states, the Arab countries. How could you be surprised? The bases got hit right away. They told you they were going to hit the bases. How are you surprised? Remember that? What? What kind of stupid answer is that? You didn't think they were going to hit them? They threatened to hit them. They said they were going to spread it into a regional war. Who is the most incompetent person that is involved in this? It's like, are you serious? I was like, oh my God. I said it lots of times. Exactly, Wolf 006. Remember that conversation we were all saying? When we were waiting for weeks and weeks, when is he going to start? When is he going to do it? When is he going to hit? And some of us were losing faith, like the Iranians that were in chat. Like, remember the frustration by the Iranians in chat? Like, when is the help coming? Go look at one of the past streams from before this started. And we were getting frustrated, like, when's he going to hit? Oh, but he's waiting for the other carrier to get in. Remember all that talk? But what did we say? Let Israel go after the regime targets, which they did. They took the mouse out in the first hour. They did their part. And, we were hitting their missile bases and which didn't really do much in some places because they were able to unbury them. And we should have focused on the Strait of Hormuz. That should have been our priority. Let Israel do what they were doing before and hit targets, but we should have focused on the Strait at all fucking costs, keeping it open. And that's why we're at where we're at right now. Oh, we need the deal. The deal. Remember, the deal is to get to negotiations, to sign this memorandum of understanding. It's only to go to sit down and really negotiate for months on the nuclear and other issues. That's all this is, but it'll open up the strait. That's the point. So it's all about the strait. And Iran is not going to refuse to give up their toll bullshit or whatever else is going on. So it's going to end up maybe even being worse than when before this whole stuff started. We don't know. Because the rhetoric on both sides, it's hard to tell. But it's like, oh my God. So we just want to get back to before this started. It's like reset. Let's reset. And pretend that it was never happened and we'll go back to the way it was. That's where we're at. Is that crazy? This is a reset. Let's just go back to the way things were before. And then we could negotiate like we were doing after Midnight Hammer or during Midnight Hammer. And we'll sit down and negotiate again. After $50 billion spent, 15 people lost their lives, American personnel. Bases destroyed or damaged. Stockpile used that's going to take months, if not years in some cases, to replace. Oh, this has just gone on wonderfully. Iran, the regime stays. The people are still waiting to have their opportunity in Iran. The region still stays as volatile as ever between Israel, Iran. How does this benefit anyone, including America? It doesn't. Bottom line. Anybody could try to spin it any way they want, but this is an absolute nightmare disaster. And let's not forget how other adversaries are looking at this and learning and even watching how our military operates in operations and how they conduct themselves and what their planning is and how they carry out certain missions. You don't think the Chinese and Russian were looking at all this for any possible future altercations with the United States? You don't think that's... They see our 35s, they see how they operate, maneuver, our weapons capabilities. This is a great assessment looking from the outside on how the United States carries out an operation. Are you kidding me? This is bad in so many fucking ways. It's all about... Oh my God, I'm only on June. You have to be rational and logical about thinking about this, not political. I always say that. Don't think political, because then the man can do no wrong, or the man can do everything wrong, depending on your point of view, politically. It's either he's the greatest thing that ever walked on the face of the earth, or he's the worst thing that ever walked on the face of the earth, depending on what party you're part of. Drop all that. Just look at it objectively for what's been going on. That's all. You cannot say this has gone well. Honestly, you cannot. Unless it comes out to be some crazy outcome that we score, and I don't think Iran's going to let that happen. Because it seems like Iran is definitely holding the cards here about the deal. He hopes they sign the deal. Who looks like they're more begging to go to a deal? Iran right now, publicly, or him? We're so close to a deal. Why did you hit Beirut? You could have screwed up my deal. Israel, now you can't strike anywhere in Lebanon. You're ruining my deal. It could have been signed today. You don't hear the Iranians saying all that. They're laughing. They're laughing at this. They're like, oh my God, look at this. And that's what they want. They want the United States and Israel's relationship to fracture. And they're doing it. That's the PSYOP game. That's the 4D chess. Not what we're doing. They're doing it. That's sad. They're the ones playing the chess game, not him. They're the ones, which should scare everybody. Oh my God. Look at this Truth Social post from today, God, for God's sake. Israel needs to stop hitting anywhere in Lebanon. The Hezbollah struck them. That's what triggered it. And Israel said if they struck them, they were going to hit Beirut again. No one got killed, no injuries, no harm, nothing. So why did Israel hit Beirut? Because they said they would. They're not like you that go back on their word. Over in that region, the only thing that's respected is force. If Israel was not to do action after they said they were going to do it, they look weak, like he looks weak. They can't do that. They live there. That's their neighborhood. He can talk from thousands of miles away, but they can't. You can't expect them to. So now he's like, oh, why did you do it? Why, Netanyahu? Bibi, why did you do it? You just screwed up my deal. I was so close. It was going to happen today. Because the Iranians said, if this happens, deal's off. No signing. Not until Israel stops. And that's to say if Iran doesn't retaliate a little bit against Israel today at some point. Do you see how scary this is? This is scary. And again, I support the president on this. I support the fucking president on this. And I'm like, I've had it. I've had it. From day one, doing the stream. I've written songs in support of him. His name is Trump Straight, all this. I've put a lot of my freaking time and effort and passion and emotion and everything in this. Only to be here right now. It is. I don't ever show disrespect to any president ever. I don't care if it's Biden, anyone. Doesn't matter. I don't show disrespect to the office like people do. I don't think it's funny. It's the high office. It's the president of the United States. And the office has a level of respect. You can disagree, agree, but I always will. I don't care who the president is. I always show respect. That's just me, though. I'm not one to create crazy memes and make fun and all that, because that's the president. That's the leader of our country. You may not like him, whatever, but you got to respect it. If you lose the respect, then that's a different story. But I'll just say this: I am frustrated, disappointed, up to this point, and I hope that at the end, that everything will work out, and it'll benefit us, the people in Iran, Israel, and the region, and that this will turn out to be a good thing after all. That's all I could say. And I pray for the president. Happy birthday to the president. Protect him. God protect him. So, if he's going to be out there in the UFC today on his birthday, oh my God. Please, God, protect him. So you can be critical. You can be, it's about respect too. So, like I said, God protect him, because I don't know what the situation is today for the UFC, but they better have a lot of security for him, because that's been lapsing. And don't get me wrong, what happened with that individual during the White House correspondent dinner, they were amazing taking that person down. But the problem is, how did that person even get to that point? That he's just running through like that. And I say this, what if it wasn't just a weapon? What if he was strapped with explosives and running like that? It could have been a lot worse. That's what I worry about. Could have been worse. They got to step up on that security. That is not good. It could have been a lot worse. Thank God it wasn't. But that's scary. Because that's what I was thinking. Oh my God, look how close he got to the doors where they were all inside. Fuck. They got to do better. They got to do better. And another thing too is, how do you have people staying in the same place above that whole... My boss. My boss is messaging me. I gotta call Bob. I'll be right back. Then I'm going in the pool. I got thunderstorms, possibly severe later. Possibly severe thunderstorms this afternoon. I gotta find this post before I go in the pool because it's already after 12. I'm not sitting here. I'm in May. It's in April. Because I don't want to take it out of context. I want to read it to you. Show it to you. I'm going to save it, actually. Pick up the phone. If he doesn't pick up, he'll call me back.
Hi, this is Bob. I'm not home right now. Please leave your name, number, the time you called, and a detailed message if you wish, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hey, Bob, it's Bill. Call me back. I want to make sure you got the link for tonight. So call me back because we have to make sure everything is confirmed for tonight. So give me a call. Bye. I'm getting hot in this room. Oh my gosh, the coffee didn't help. I'm sweating sitting here already. I'm at May 12th. I think it was April 13th or April 8th, something like that, April 9th, that he came out with that Truth Social post. And I was like, that freaked me out. That was the one thing that I said, this is not good. It's not going to end up well. I know, Bean. That I agree with you on that. I'm worried about that too. The World Cup security. That is for sure. I'm also worried about the 4th of July. We always worry about that when the holidays. I'm concerned about this year. 250th. With everything going on. And, you know, I'm thinking more about the big areas, you know, like the big gatherings. Could be any gathering. Obviously, there's less security at smaller venue events, even like my town. There is police presence. When they're here, of course. But it's definitely, you have to pay attention. If you see something, say something. You have to keep your eyes open. Always keep your eyes open. Look around. Look at the people around you. Look what they're carrying. Anything suspicious, you call police. And the worst that could happen is they don't have to know it was you that said anything. It's anonymous, but at least they go and check the person. Say, is everything okay here? Just, you know. And they don't even have to say they were told by somebody. We noticed that you had something there. We just want to see everything's okay. They don't even have to tell the person that somebody said they saw something suspicious. Very important. I did it once on the subway. I found a book bag all by itself. And it was the last stop where I lived in the Bronx. And I went down and I told the police and said, listen, you got to go check out. There's something on the train. I'm not touching it. There's a book bag. It could simply be a student left a book bag or something, but there's a book bag on the train and I'm not touching it. So they did. They went up. I wasn't going to go near it. was the middle of the day, too. A sunny day, I remember. So if the weather gets bad, I'm going to cover it here. I'm trying to find this crazy post. I'm in April now. Oh my God. Just you realize how much he posts when you're scrolling for 5-10 minutes. Sometimes he posts a lot. I'm on April 24th right now. And it's still going April 24th. 21st. Oh God, mom's up. I'm still scrolling. Yes. Not right now, I'm busy. What is it? I'm live. I'm live. What happened?
They're saying about the high blood pressure.
Uh-huh.
That is, they're telling you, explaining to you what's going on.
Of course, that's normal. People with high pressure need to address it. That's a medical issue. She makes it sound like it's new news. Look. You want to see something funny? I'm not going to click on it because then I won't. This was April 19th. Iran decided to fire bullets yesterday in the Strait of Hormuz. A total violation of our ceasefire agreement. Well, so much for that. I thought nobody violated the ceasefire. That was April 19th. Ceasefire is still in place. A total violation of the ceasefire back then. Firing some bullets in the Strait of Hormuz, but they're firing at our bases, at our naval vessels, and that's not a violation of the ceasefire? Oh my God. Oh my God. Just even looking at that is like, wait, what? Wait, what? That wasn't nice, was it? It was a friendship. Oh my God. He's complaining about a friendship. They violated ceasefire on April 19th, firing a few shots. A total violation of ceasefire. But they haven't violated it since? Against us? Oh, it's just, you go back and you look at some of these posts, it's like, oh my God, what the WTF? But that's not the one I'm looking for. But it caught my eye just now. So again, short-term memories. That is a joke right there in itself. That's just laughable. Oh my God. And, when the people of Iran were putting this all over the walls, and remember this? Writing his name, help is on the way, all that. Placards, street signs. Fuck. I still haven't found the post yet. It's getting close. We're in April. Getting close. Unless they removed it. Then I'll flip. I think it was like April 13th, April 8th, some shit like that. I gotta slow down because I'm on April 17th. Oh my God, for a second I think I'm on the 15th. I'm getting there. Look. Here's another one from April 15th. Just a funny one. China is very happy. It didn't matter because Chinese oil kept getting through anyway. China is very happy that I am permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. I am doing it for them also. Whoa. And the world. So, but he says China specifically because that was before he was meeting with Xi. like to appease Xi before he meets him. I'm going to open it up for you, China. China was going to be very happy. And they did continue to get their oil, by the way. April 13th, Fortune magazine. But look. Look. China. They have agreed not to send weapons to Iran. And they still do. This is the kind of shit. He believes it. He's so naive and gullible when it comes to Xi or Putin and some others. It's like, look what he wrote. People, pay attention. Don't give him a pass. Look. This is strategic? Is it? Give me a break. Enough is enough. Oh my God. Wait, but that's not... I gotta find it. What was the date you said? April 13th? So now I know. I gotta save it. Forever. Because people will not remember it. And it's going to be something that he posted that's going to be looked back at history. For such a blunder. No doubt. There we go. I got it. I have to screenshot this. I found it. Thank you. Who put that in? Navy Mom. Thank you. I found it. It is April 13th. I said 13th, didn't I? And the 8th. Well, we got it. Here it is. I'll put it on the screen in full screen. Let's not forget this, because this is going to be remembered in the history on the strategic blunder. This could potentially be way worse, because it led up to what we're dealing with right now. This makes Afghanistan look like nothing, or some of the other past blunders. This is so bad, in my opinion. So bad. April 13th. Iran's navy is lying at the bottom of the sea, completely obliterated. 158 ships. I think it's 159 now. What we have not hit are their small number of what they call fast attack ships, because we did not consider them much of a threat. There it is, right there. There it is. And this turned out to be the threat. This turned out to be the ones that were taking 1 or 2 mines out there and dropping them into the fucking Strait of Hormuz. These so-called fast attack ships. The Mosquito Fleet. We have what we have not hit. And this is April 13th. It started February 28th. What we have not hit are their small number of, and it's not a small number, by the way, of what they call fast attack ships, because we did not consider them much of a threat. Well, here is your strategic blunder why the Strait is, one of the reasons the Strait is the fucking mess it is today. When I read that, I was like, what? Oh my God. They sank the big ships, but they didn't go after the little ones? You don't go after the entire thing? That's asymmetric warfare. Who is we? Who decided that that wasn't a threat? I remember when I said it. People say, oh, they didn't threaten our Navy. What about the shipping? And I said it. Remember Marianne? She was here. Navy Mom, you might have been here. I was like, are they crazy? Why aren't they going after them too? Those are the ones that are going to threaten shipping. Anybody with common sense know that. From day one, they should have been taken out, just like all the others. But they didn't consider them a threat. Why? A threat to our Navy? They have limited distance that they can travel. Then they go back. What idiot decided that that was the case? What idiot decided that that was the case? Tell me how that will not be looked back as being one of the reasons this is happening right now. Because they didn't take the Strait, they didn't secure the Strait, because they didn't think those were a freaking threat. How incompetent, how absolute incompetent Whoever made that decision, we. It's not the military. It's not the military. It's the we. Who is the we? I said it then and I'll say it now. Because right now, there would have been no ceasefire. There would have been no ceasefire because the ceasefire has to do with the Strait. No ceasefire would have existed. Iran, this could have been over by now. This could be possibly have been over right now. Iran's only card it's using is the Strait, thus the deal. Now they're using the deal also to say, well, tell the president that if Israel hits Beirut, it's off. No. Matter of fact, tell them if they hit anywhere in Lebanon, it's off. Now the deal is being held as hostage by the Iranians to see how much they can push and get from it by saying, nah, we're not going to do it. Sign it! Israel, stop! This would not even be happening if the Strait was controlled by us. Is that strategic? I don't want to hear people giving him credit. It's strategic. Anything he does. Because he blew it. He makes the decision. He makes the call. The President of the United States blew this whole thing by his decision making, listening to the people of the we. No excuses. There are no excuses. Zero. He blew it because he let the Strait become the major card that Iran was going to play. That card should have never been in Iran's hands to begin with. It should have been taken away from them. This would not even be going on right now if the Strait was in our control. Iran would have surrendered because they have nothing else. The fucking ceasefire was the worst idea. Strategic blunder number 2. Strategic blunder 3 was trying to arm the people in Iran. The weapons never got to them. Strategic blunder number 3. Should we continue? So you really want to defend the actions of what's going on right now? Really? Do you? If you're going to be objective, absolutely not, because there is no defense to it. We should not be here right now. That's the point. We should not be where we are right now because of what he decided to do. That's it. And that's why I can't take it anymore. Incompetence on every level. It is an embarrassment to our military. It is an embarrassment to our history of our military, our great military decision making in the past. Having them do certain things, orders by presidents in the past. This guy has made a mockery of the presidency as a military commander-in-chief. That's the bottom line. If people don't like it, it's too bad. Deal with the reality, because look where we are right now. Look where we are right now. It is an utter embarrassment. End of story. Embarrassment. He is an embarrassment on how he conducted this. Embarrassing. No excuses. It is embarrassing. It is utterly embarrassing. He made the United States look like a weak, and he looks foolish. Oh my God. It is so disgusting. It makes me so angry. This does, and Biden, he should never utter Biden's name or Obama's name because he created a situation that is far worse. The global implications of this, the United States implications of this moving forward as a country dealing in the region, specifically with Iran, other adversaries looking at this and seeing how vulnerable we are under his leadership. Oh my God, you want to talk about Sleepy Joe and all the other people? This scares me more than any other position because this is a bad look for the United States in so many ways, what he's done. How do you spin this into being a win? How do you spin this into him being strategic? How do you spin this into him playing 4D chess? How do you spin this into him having a plan? You can't, because the facts bear a different outcome here. That's why I ain't buying all that nonsense that people say. Oh, it's part of a plan. It's 4D chess. It's PSYOP. It's this. No. Look at the past. Look at all the mistakes made already. What, are we going to keep making excuses? Oh, it's just part of his plan. No. No, the track record, the truth speaks for itself. Fuck plans. Action. Bad decision making. That's results. What? Cage, I hate to say it. They should never utter other people's names anymore. Because they're being hypocrites if they do. I don't know if I'll go as far as say it's as bad as Carter, though. Because Carter's the trigger over this. So I don't know about that. But again, this is people, and you know what? It's so unbelievable how people could be so phony and lie to themselves and try to justify what he's doing as being somehow otherwise. Because they're so diehard supporters that they can't see, they're so blinded by their loyalty to him that they can't see what the actual situation is right now. It's mind-boggling. It's the same way when Democrats, with others in their party, the same way, the loyalists, it's like, what the fuck are you seeing that we're not? I mean, what is it? Obviously, you know, if you probably break it down, I bet you there's a lot of president supporters that are like, what the? Of course, they'll overall still back him because of the other policies that he's been doing. But when it comes to Iran, it's like, when it comes to Iran, I'm not with this. I don't agree to this. I support him, but when it comes to this situation, not so much. Right? No? And they'll still support him, but when it comes to this, they're not happy. No? Oh, are they? Do they like what's going on? Because I sure am not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's just be real. There should be an age limit in Congress and the presidency, and there should be term limits, definitely in Congress. This has to stop. This has to stop. There should be term limits definite in Congress. Yeah, I hear you. I understand that, Cage. But, you know, I'm being critical because we should be critical. That's all. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm just like, this is a mess. We should have never got started in this mess if it was going to be like this. But I said this, and Marianne knows, Navy Mom, I don't know if you were here at the beginning. I think 006 was. I said it. We have to be careful about the unknowns in this situation. You just don't know what the outcome's going to be. It's war, conflict. You just don't know. Anything's possible, good or bad. Remember? And that's war. I mean, that's the whole point. You don't know. It's not like you go in knowing you're going to guarantee to win or lose. You don't want to lose. But there's always that unknown factor or factors or scenarios. It's fluid. You can't predict that. You can try strategically and militarily know that you have the upper hand, air superiority, etc., you know, all that. But then there's always something that gets thrown in that could offset everything. And that was the Strait of Hormuz. But we knew that going in that they were going to try to do this. But yet they still were able to. We should not have allowed it to become an issue. But it happened. We know going into it that they were going to try. And yet, despite that, it still happened. What is it, Mom? Put 507. Channel 507.
507.
And that's my frustration. Because some people out here say, oh, he's part of a plan, 4D chess. Well, if he's playing 4D chess, he needs to give it up right now. If it's part of the planning, whoever was part of the planning needs to be fired. But instead, they're firing the generals that were associated to anything, not the people that were doing the actual decision making. But that's just crazy in itself. Generals resigning because they don't want to deal with this shit. They're like, this is crazy. We're taking orders for an incompetent fool. You tell me how Pete Hegseth is qualified for that position. You think they have respect for this guy? They're taking orders. These people that have been in the military for fucking decades, experienced, trained, they're taking orders from some incompetent podcaster? Wannabe? Who's a veteran and thank for his service, but is he experienced to be in that position? Honestly, people? Even those who support Trump, you think Pete Hegseth is qualified to be Secretary of War or Defense? Do you? Really? No, he doesn't. He should not be in that position. Jesus Christ, what is it, Ma?
Hold me that parade!
Oh my God!
I'm a Puerto Rican, what the fuck?
You don't know how to use the TV?
What you gotta do is sit over there and your shit.
Press the red button. Anyway, I'm going in the pool. It's 12:30. I'm not wasting my time sitting in here, being hot. I'm going to enjoy the day. It's beautiful out. Yeah, I'm tired of it too, 006, because they're just trying. You know what it is? Those are people that are just trying to convince themselves that they still have. He still has the ability to do it. That they're trying to justify that. Oh no. They're trying to reassure themselves that this guy's got a plan. That's more of a reassurance. It's like they're convincing themselves that, yeah, I believe he has a plan. I have faith he has a plan. I have trust he has a plan. That's just to reaffirm for themselves. It's just like to reassure themselves, which tells you right there, by doing that, they have doubt. Because it's a reaffirm. Do you understand what I'm saying? People that do that say, oh, he's the greatest ever, it's because now they're starting deep inside to actually have to say it to believe it. They're reconvincing themselves. They're reassuring themselves. That tells me right there, there's a sow of doubt there. When people do that, that's a behavioral pattern. It's trying to convince themselves that that's the case, especially when they keep repeating it. That's a behavior. Like I said, I had the paperwork. I taught anger management. There's a lot of stuff involved. That's actually part of it, like. And I said to myself, oh my God. You can see the behavior of people. They're trying to reconvince themselves because they have doubt. Do you understand? I will stand by the president that what we're doing, yes, even though I don't agree with something like that happens. I said that, Marianne. I just finished saying that. You can still support the president, but disagree and be disappointed and frustrated about what's going on right now. Absolutely. I just finished saying that a few minutes ago. But when it comes to this situation, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to convince themselves that, oh, he's got a plan. It's 4D chess. All this. That's what I'm talking about. Not about all the other things. We're just talking about Iran. Not all the other stuff. Trouble is they are frightened of him unless they kiss. Yeah. That's part of it too. That's why he got a bunch of loyalists, yes people around him. He learned from the first administration not to repeat the mistakes of the second. So he got loyalists and yes people around him. For that purpose, John, because they'll kiss his ass. He wants yes people. But see, that's a bad thing, because if they have to tell him something, it's almost like they're afraid to tell him because it's not something he wants to hear. And that's when things can get dangerous. That's why it's good to have a balance of people being objective and telling him straight what's going on instead of people telling him what he wants to hear. That's where it's bad. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with that. Is, yeah, it's okay to have people you trust around you, but it's also good to have people that are not going to be afraid to tell you straight up, Mr. President, in my opinion, I think, and in my experience, I think we should maybe think of a different course of action, or not just agree with him, because remember, the first time, I know more than all the generals. So they're dealing with this kind of individual. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's not a good thing. It's just not. You want objectivity. You want people to be honest with him and tell him straight as it is. That's why I keep saying, I don't blame him necessarily. I blame the people around him who are influencing him. And I always say this, I'm not making excuses for the president. But, you know, a lot of his decision making is based on what he's being told by so many people around him. So I would like to know who's feeding him this, that we should go in this direction, because they're influencing him. And it's probably J.D. Vance, Witkoff, Kushner, and others. If I had to guess. Do you know what I mean? Reality said it well. Surrounded by yes men or women can distort reality. Exactly. And that can distort the outcome. You know what I mean, Mom? It's also frustrating when so much money being used for infrastructure and some of us continue to struggle. Absolutely. And you see now that, Mom, that hits the absolute core issue. All this is going on while people are struggling to live day to day, week to week, check to check. They don't want to hear about this. $50 billion spent on an operation that looks like it's a failure. That money could have been used here. Why did we even start this to begin with and spend $50 billion? And more now, because we're going to have to replace the stockpile. I don't know if we're going to fix the bases. I don't know what, there's ships that have to be repaired, aircraft, etc. I don't know what I want to know what the end of this bill is going to be. It's going to be in the hundreds of billions, if not more. They better get some money for that, because who's going to pay for it? Taxpayers. Taxpayers are paying for this. Forget it. I don't even want to get into that because I'm going in the pool. Yeah, you can't downplay a massive problem. It is a massive problem. But, you know, and this is just to be critically objective. It's not like we're trying to be picking on the president or anything. It's just looking at it for face value and looking at it objectively. It's not good. I don't see many cons in this. I see a lot of, I don't see many pros in this. I see a lot of cons. Meanwhile, 40 billion, 50 billion on this, I'm telling you, it's coming. The people that are on it, be ready for it. If you're on Medicaid, if you get SNAP, if you depend on your health care through some of these, that is yet to come. And that's red, blue, everywhere. It's going to affect a lot of people in this country. On top of what's going on already. That has yet to hit. It's coming. And I feel so fucking bad for these people, because it's not going to get better for them. It's going to get worse. Oh my God. So pain is still coming on the way. And this is going to be reflected in November. I can't right now. So I think things are going to get worse. I hate to say it, before they get better. I hate to say it. For some, not for everyone, for some. It's recording. Don't touch it. But I'm going to enjoy the day. I'm going out. It's almost 1 o'clock. I'm getting outside. Israel bombs Beirut. Iran will attack Israel. Speak the Truth is on right now, too. Goldie's live. Matt Tardio's going live. He says, Israel bombs Beirut. Iran will attack Israel. And everybody's going to blame Israel for breaking the deal. Israel's the scapegoat all the way. He's gonna go ballistic on Bibi. If this happens, he's gonna go ballistic. And again, happy birthday to the president. Despite everything going on, happy birthday, President Trump. I hope everything goes great today for his birthday. The event, the UFC, all that. Let's end on a high note, because that's what ultimately it's about. Let us enjoy this beautiful Sunday or whatever it is where you are. It's beautiful here, though we might have severe storms later. May God protect him. They better have a lot of security and protect the President of the United States. Please, God. And may he have a wonderful day today on his birthday. And all of you, have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy. And I have a feeling I will be covering the weather later here live, sadly, with possibility of severe storms on the way. But I'm going in the pool right now and getting away from all this. Have my Calgon moment in my swimming pool. Take me away. That's what I'm going to go do right now. So all of you, love to all of you. Be well, be blessed, be safe. A lot of people are streaming. Keep an eye on if Iran reacts now to Israel attacking them. That's what they're saying. I'm not saying it, but since they hit Beirut, Iran threatened that if they hit Beirut again, they would attack Israel. The president posted, everybody needs to stand down, stop. The deal was going to happen today. You're all messing up the deal. Stop it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they listen to him or they decide to just go at it. That's what it comes down to. So keep an eye. Let me know if you hear anything. Let me know, please. Let me know. You know how. Anyway, love to all of you. Blessings. Have a great one. And maybe tonight, I might have to go to Target and get some apple juice. I don't know what time.